From painfully long training hours every day to understanding the cerebral elements attached, we're entering Jonathan Majors' era in Hollywood. The actor's been training day in and day out for his upcoming roles.
Work, time, prayer, rice and chicken.
Rice and chicken.
Rice and chicken. Yeah.
Rice and chicken.
Rice and
8
chicken.
times a day.
6 times a day.
6 times a day.
Yeah.
But that's pretty standard for most actors. What sets Majors apart, however, is the fact that he's given up carbs completely. Every diet in the book is going to tell you that to lose weight, you'll have to cut down on your carb intake. So it's pretty much a given. But we're only human, and people tend to sneak in the occasional cheat meal. Helps us stay sane after all. And I'm sure actors work twice as hard as anyone else to prep for their roles. But imagine my surprise when Jonathan Majors claimed that he hadn't had a carb in 2 straight years. That's 2 years without eating a single French fry. I don't know how he did it, truly, but Majors had his motivation. The actor wants you to see Damian Anderson in him. Again, we're entering Majors' era in Hollywood now. And one of the many reasons why I'm claiming this is because the magazine Dreams actor has snagged not 1, but 2 major roles, both as antagonists. Interestingly, you probably know that Majors is all set to make his Marvel Cinematic Universe debut as the new big bad, Kang the Conqueror, in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. But he's also starring as Damian Anderson in the upcoming Creed 3, alongside Michael B. Jordan. Now, I'm pretty sure one of the reasons why Majors is putting in all the effort that he is because you need to be able to look like you belong there when you're standing alongside Jordan. But another reason would be the fact that he wants people to be able to see Anderson for who he is, through his transformation.
So what ended up happening is I would train 2 times a day for the movie. And the third time, usually after wrap, after I've had my little workshop, driving home with my boy Bynum to the gym, right, for a third session. Meanwhile, you eat 6 times a day.
I know what you're thinking. How does he plan on doing that?
Hey, devotion is getting a lot of love.
It's getting some love, yeah.
It's getting a lot.
But then I would say Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Okay.
Incredible feat there. It's extremely gladiatorial.
Well, according to the actor, you don't have less than 5% body fat unless you've gone through some major personal struggles. And Anderson is depicted as a man who's finally taking back after being wronged. The best portrayal of that, according to Majors, would be as a man who spent hours on end training to ultimately take over. Strangely enough, that actually makes perfect sense. And Jordan, for one, is here for it. The actor claimed that Majors' way of training was unlike anything he'd ever seen before. This is Michael B. Jordan we're talking about, and he thinks Majors is putting in, excuse the pun, major effort.
Yeah, man, you worked your ass off. You have no idea, like, okay, the tickets don't really matter. You know, you're not really checking. It's a different ecosystem. You know, you're hoping people are going to come see the work you've done in that space, in that black box for that long, right? You're hoping it's going to happen.
If you're not willing to take Michael B. Jordan's testimonial for it, here's everything you need to know about how Majors trains.
I hadn't heard of it.
Jesse Brown, the first African-American naval aviator.
Hardest thing for anybody wearing wings. That's a line from the film.
Had a very hard time even getting to, obviously, to that spot.
Yeah, the guy was born in Mississippi.
So we know that the man has the willpower of a superhuman because he has lived for 2 years without carbs. And prepare to be blown away by the actor's commitment once again because he spends hours on end at the gym. 6 if we're counting. That's 2-hour sessions with his trainers on 3 separate occasions, 2 of which are before filming and 1 after wrap. Speaking of his trainers, one of them is a man you've probably heard of already. It's Jamie Sawyer, the man responsible for almost every major boxer's career. Just like all the work he's done with people in the ring, Sawyer is preparing Majors for his incredible matchup. Besides just training at the gym, Majors has made some, I can't help but make the same pun again, major adjustments to his diet. He told Men's Health that he eats his own body weight's worth of protein. That's about 6,000 calories every day, but he's willing to cut down. After all, he did train like a beast for 4 months. After 4 months of training 3 times a day, Majors says he's ready to cut down to 1 time a day. day. Majors took up this elevated training regimen after signing on for the role of Killian Maddox in Magazine Dreams. The part for Damian Anderson in Creed 3 came shortly afterward. Maddox was supposed to be portrayed as a man who was obsessed with building muscle. In fact, there are long 1-minute shots of nothing but camera focus on Majors' muscles. Majors claimed that in order to become the same bodybuilding machine that he was scripted to become like, he had to train more than the average bodybuilder, which is why he upped his training from 2 times a day to 3 times a day, and for the usual 2 to 3 hours at the gym to an incredible 6 hours. But now, he's willing to cut back. And right when the actor was finishing that thought, came the role of Kang the Conqueror for the MCU. Just in case you didn't know already, Kang the Conqueror is Marvel's new supervillain. Kevin Feige has high hopes for Kang the Conqueror. He claims that Major's new role is going to exceed supervillain expectations in the MCU. That is, he's bigger and badder than either Loki or Thanos. A tall order. Kang was created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. His real name's Nathaniel Reed, who may or may not be related to Reed from the Fantastic Four, whose father was also a time traveler. Oh yeah, and on that note, Kang's a time traveler. But he's not just any time traveler, he's the worst of them all. Basically, Nathaniel was a scientist living in the 13th century, but he wanted to be able to find a way to live among the pharaohs for some time. To do so, he created a time machine, went back to ancient Egypt, and became a pharaoh himself. He eventually realized that there were other variants of himself in different universes. The lot of them came together to form the Kang Council, and that's when they realized that while all of them had a tendency to do evil, Kang was the worst of the lot. He was subsequently banished from the quantum realm, while He Who Remains, another variant, created the TVA. Feige said that the 5 phase of the MCU will culminate with The Avengers, the Kang Dynasty. This means that Major's portrayal of the character in Loki was only the beginning. You best believe Majors will be having a feature in every MCU movie, television series, and promotion from here on out, as he's as excited as he could be. I mean, if you were headlining some of the biggest projects in cinema back to back, wouldn't you be excited too? Portraying Anderson required a lot of effort from Majors, but portraying a villain Feige believes will surpass Thanos. Now that's going to require a lot more, but it's okay. It's Majors we're talking about. If anyone can do it, it's probably him, and he's excited about it all. The training, the effort, and the opportunity to trade hands with Michael B. Jordan again. He spoke with The Hollywood Reporter and claimed that he didn't necessarily see any of his characters as bad people. Majors instead claimed that everyone, even Kang, probably thought of themselves as good people. He said that they are heroes, but only to themselves. That's pretty deep if you think about it. Anyway, playing multiple roles back to back has been a huge opportunity for Majors, and he's been putting in the effort to make sure he's on track for more roles to come. His training regimen for Magazine Dreams and Creed 3 went viral, and rightfully so. You might find a couple of people taking up the challenge and committing to his workout regimen on YouTube and on blog posts. My favorite has to be of this one guy who only did one set of Major's 6-hour-long training session and claimed his entire body felt like it was on fire. See you in the next video.